Here we go. All right, welcome in everybody. Today we are doing the Diamond to GM tournament semi-finals. This is the second to last game of the season for Diamond to GM. Today we have the Ubers versus the NJIT Highlanders. Both some solid teams that we've definitely seen some good gameplay from so far in the season, and this is going to be a fight to remember. So good luck to both teams. Everyone, you can head on over to your individual chats, and we'll get this thing started.
Unpause.
Good luck, have fun.
Good luck,
Good luck.
teams.
Good luck.
All right. This is going to be a fun game today, guys. Once again, this is the semifinals for Diamond to GM. So this is certain to be quite the game here today. Just so everyone knows, tomorrow we are doing the finals for Silver to Plat. So that will be the very final game. That's going to be Fault versus Triple Caked Up. So be sure to go in for that as well. And then whoever wins this game next week will be playing against the Donglers for the finals for this. For the Diamond to GM tournament, and that will be the end of Season 1 of MST Esports League. It's been a very, very nice league so far, and we've had an amazing season so far. It's been it's been hectic, but it's been fun for sure. And as you guys can see in the bottom left, we have raised a whole lot of money for Stand Up to Cancer, which is just super special to me. And I'm so proud of us in my community for being able to do that. All right, it looks like NJIT chose heads, and it is heads, so NJIT will get the first map pick. All right, so it looks like the first map that we're going to be playing on today is Nepal. Not necessarily a map that we've seen a whole lot for this season, but I think if I remember correctly, NJIT did an amazing job on Nepal last game that they played. So this certainly will be for an interesting fight to watch to see if NJIT can kind of come back and use this map to their advantage once again. I'm just pulling up the rules real quick just in case anybody needs map picks. I know NJIT knows what they're doing. They've basically memorized the rule book, but all right, we'll just waiting on Ubers to pick their first hero ban. All right, looks like for the first hero ban, we are going to be banning Lucio. So now NJIT gets the choice for their ban. It can be anyone except for support. This is going to be a very exciting game today, guys. I'm very excited about this one. It should be interesting to watch and see how these two teams play against each other. All right, and it looks like for the second ban, we are going to be banning Tracer. Now asking if both teams are ready. All right, and it looks like both teams are ready, so we will be starting on this first map. Good luck to both teams. It's going to be a very, very interesting fight today. Remember, this is the semifinals for the Diamond to GM tournament, so whoever wins this fight will be moving on into the finals against the Donglers, and whoever wins that fight becomes the first ever Diamond to GM champions of MST Esports League. Hopefully, what will someday go down as history. Both teams choosing their heroes now. Just gonna make sure that everything here is fine. And just then, congratulations to everyone. We just reached our 60 follower goal, which is very, very cool. MST Esports has truly been growing extremely fast and way faster than I thought it would, which is truly just humbling to see. And thank you to everyone who's made that possible.
Capture the objective.
Alright, getting into the first map here, it looks like for the NJIT we are going to be going Ramatra, which we've definitely seen some good gameplay on, Genji and Sojourn, Reverb going Brig here, and then also a Kiriko. As for Ubers, it looks like we're going to go Arisa, Genji, Sojourn, Bap, and Brig. See some humor from one of our players there, Halaban, previously known as La Flopper. If you guys remember the team La Floppers, that was their team captain. Alright, it looks like NJIT is going to take this first point pretty quickly. However, it looks like Ubers were able to get a pick on Reverb there, and Colby Jack is also getting pretty low here. Artori is taking some heavy damage as well. Manages to use his shift and stay alive though. Colby Jack once again just taking some heavy damage here, but managing to back up. Artori is also kind of backing up here, and it looks like I Am Broom goes down. However, the NJIT also manages to get a pick on Lobster before they go. Artorias falls, and Ubers is able to take the point now. These teams are playing to win. They want to take down Donglers and take this champion for the first ever team to win a championship in MST Esports League history. The NJIT once again able to take the point after kind of forcing Ubers off of the point there, even without their tank, which is truly just a feat of amazing gameplay. Lobster taking some heavy damage from that vortex immediately. I Am Broom coming up on an ultimate here. We've definitely seen some good ultimates from I Am Broom before, and we'll have to see if this one is any different. Remedy going in deep, possibly too deep, and it looks like Lobster is going to fall. I Am Broom gets a pick on Remedy. NJIT are holding this point. Keep in mind, NJIT has 3-0'd every single team except for one this tournament. The Donglers, the only reason that the Donglers aren't playing right now is because they've 3-0'd every team so far without a single match lost. So, this is certainly going to be an interesting fight. If I'm not mistaken, I think Ubers have also 3-0'd every team except for one as well. So this is certainly going to be a fight of fights to see who can win here. Both supports for NJIT pop their ults there, trying to look for I Am Broom also popping ult. NJIT kind of using all of their ults here trying to hold this last point. It looks like Lobster trying to hold the point there, managing to get overtime, but I don't think that Ubers will be able to make it back in time, and it looks like NJIT is going to take the first point.
Score 1-0.
tough first fight for the Ubers, but we do know that they are starting to kind of learn about NJIT's play style and how they play this game. So perchance they will be able to bring this back for themselves if they can kind of see how these people play and kind of play around that. As I've said before, there's always times where you have a rough first match, but then immediately after you kind of learn how the enemy plays and you manage to come back with more information about it. Uber's kind of playing a similar comp to what they were playing originally, and NJIT changing it up a little bit with Colby now playing Pharah and Artorias now playing Hazard. Hazard is definitely a dangerous tank and someone who has been in meta for basically since he came out. And just recently with the new season coming out, we did see that Hazard did not get a nerf despite being in meta. So this is going to be an interesting fight to see if Hazard is still worthy of his title in meta. FA goes down very, very quickly from that Pharah gameplay. Artorias manages to get a pick on Flex as well. Now going for the Kiriko and the Genji, manages to pick them off. I Am Broom dealing some heavy damage there as well, and Artorias finally getting the pick on Remedy as well. So it looks like NJIT is once again going to hold this first point. Uber's looking pretty low when it comes to ult charge here. Remedy also swapping to Hazard. It looks like Hazard into Hazard is similar to how when Maga first came out, you'd play Maga into Maga. Looks like Remedy is kind of coming up with the same idea here, that the only way to counter Hazard is by playing Hazard yourself.
I'm on point. Don't worry.
Both of the Hazards here now fighting each other. Artorias gets low, but luckily Colby Jack using an ultimate there and getting them all pretty low, and it looks like the rest of the team was able to kind of push in on that, and now NJIT is once again holding this point now to 50%.
Hey.
Artorias tries to hold off this little choke point here with his wall. Redemption getting a pick on Reverb. Lobster also trying to get some picks here. I Am Brew manages to get a pick on Unusual Flex with their ultimate there. Now trying to look for possibly one more on this Kiriko. Unfortunately misses 2 railgun shots and it just doesn't go through. Uber's now slowly starting to pick off the rest of the team for NJIT. I Am Brew managing to get 2 picks on both the Kiri and the Genji, getting very low, and Usual Flex is able to pick it off, but unfortunately it looks like NJIT is just managing to absolutely roll the Ubers, and the Ubers are not able to come back. NJIT now at 95%, 96%. And it looks like they might be able to take this first match, and they do. It looks like NJIT is now going to take this first game. Congratulations to both teams. It is now 1-0 NJIT. Now remember, because NJIT chose this map and also won this map, it does mean that Ubers will now get both the map ban and the first hero ban. So we'll have to see what they do with that. All right, so just a reminder, going into this next match, the map choices for this one are going to be Kings Row, Midtown, and Blizzard World. Now just waiting on Uber's They do have quite the heavy load here. They have to pick the map pick and the first hero ban. Definitely thinking up some strategies here to figure out what they want to do. It could be very interesting to see what they pick here. By the way, for anyone who is interested, please do remember that MST Esports League is a league meant to support charity. All of our proceeds from MST Esports League directly go to our beneficiary for this season, Stand Up to Cancer. As you can see, our donation goal is $340 out of 500 total that we want to reach before September 30th, which is our last day. So please, if you can, donate. It really means a lot to us and helps us to continue doing these and putting on these broadcasts and stuff like that. So if you like what you're seeing, if you are enjoying this and want to see us do more stuff like this in the future and support other charities, please feel free to donate if you can. We are getting very close to our goal once again. We already beat one goal, which was $200, which I even thought that was a little bit far-fetched, and then my co-owner even said that moving it to 500 was far-fetched, but now we are still at $340 out of 500 already. So thank you everyone who has made that possible so far. It looks like for our next map we are going to be going to King's Row. All right, and it looks like for our first for our first hero ban, we are going to be banning Hazard, which I definitely do not blame them. Hazard is definitely a hard character to play into, so banning this Hazard could definitely be the difference between a win and a loss. All right, and it looks like for NJIT, they are going to be banning Baptiste. Now asking if both teams are ready. All right, and it looks like both teams are ready, so we will be going into the next match. Good luck to both teams, and yeah, we'll see what happens.
Entering King's Row.
By the way, I mentioned this a couple streams ago, I think, or maybe it was last stream, I can't remember. No one has told me what this is from. I remember this. I remember this exact area, and I cannot remember where it's from. But, like, I feel like they've used this for something. Like, maybe it was just, like, one of like the Overwatch social media posts or something, but I feel like I've seen this place before, and I feel like I've like played in there. Like there was like a push robot or something. Like Kings Row has never had a push map, so I don't know why there was a push robot there, but there was a push robot there. So if anybody knows in the chat, please let me know because it's driving me insane. Anyway, getting into the next one, it looks like NJIT is going to be going Ram, Freya, Genji, Lucio, and Ana. As for Ubers, they are going to be going Winston, Genji, possibly Widow here. Maybe they might just kind of try to look for a pick there and then swap off Lifeweaver and Lucio.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
Alright, now getting into it. Remedy immediately getting antied and having to hide behind the wall here. Looks like maybe possibly trying to rotate around this statue here. Lobster taking some heavy damage. Luckily, it looks like his team is able to come back and help him, and they managed to take out Colby Jack, who now has to wait for respawn. Lobster once again taking some heavy damage from that Freya there. Freya definitely not a character to be messed with. She's dangerous, and she does a lot of damage. Artorias now taking some heavy damage. It looks like Ubers are able to take him out. I Am Broom also taking some heavy damage, but managing to take out Lobster before they die. And also the Lucio there as well. And also the Freya. Man, I Am Broom just truly just going crazy and taking out their entire team. As again, as we saw with the Sojourn gameplay as well, they get low, but they just come back and they just absolutely demolish the enemy team. And it looks like NJIT is going to be able to hold this point for a little bit longer than they expected. I'm very glad that we swapped over to Freya there and saw that amazing play. The paid missions PvE. Was it part of the paid missions? Is that what I'm remembering it from? Because I mean, I remember playing those missions. That must be where I remember it from. The only form of PvE we ever got from this game. Alright, it looks like Ubers is once again taking some heavy hits here. They managed to pick out Colby Jack, but NJIT is able to hold them. Reverb now going back for Colby Jack. Get him back a little bit quicker. Colby Jack gets a pick on Usual Flex. Colby Jack also getting a pick on Redemption. Artorias getting a pick on Remedy, and Wee Woo Chu getting a pick on I don't even want to pronounce EFE, bro. I don't know how that's pronounced. If I'm being completely honest, but Lucio. However, it does look like Ubers now has the ult advantage, so we'll see if they're able to use these ults responsibly and possibly take this first point. They do only have about a minute left, so we're going to have to see some good gameplay here if they want to bring this back. Artorias once again getting a pick on Remedy. Honestly, if I'm being completely honest, I don't know how this is seen in the actual community or what people think about this, but from what I've seen, I mean, I feel like Ram is like a pretty good counter to Winston. So seeing Remedy just continue to try and force this Winston into this Ram is certainly something that could possibly be one of the reasons why Ubers is having such a hard time pushing into this first point. Remedy once again taking some heavy damage, but it looks like he's able to kind of stay back a little bit and stay alive. Ubers have 3 ults, but so do NJIT. Winston managing to go into their backline. Lobster managing to pick off Iron Broom and Wee Woo Chu. Colby getting picked off by Usual Flex. And Artorias pops ults. And we'll see if it's enough to hold this point. Artorias does some heavy damage. Tracer's trying to go in and touch, but unfortunately it looks like Artorias is able to get the pick, and oh my goodness, unfortunately it looks like the Ubers were not able to cap the first point, only 1/3 of the first point that they were able to cap there. So this will be definitely an easy fight for NJIT if they can get that first point and just get some picks off on Ubers here.
Ready for battle.
Alright, getting ready for the next round. It looks like NJIT is going to be playing Diva, Sombra, Widow, Lucio, and Lifeweaver. As for Ubers, it looks like they're going to be playing Ramatra, Genji, Freya, Kiri, and Lucio here.
Defend objective A.
At your service.
I want to see some more I Am Broom gameplay. Definitely saw some good gameplay from I Am Broom in the last fight.
You are safe with me.
You're a lifesaver.
Remedy takes some heavy damage there, manages to back off and kind of find his supports.
I've got you.
Artorias goes in, tries to get some damage in on these this backline here. Remedy taking some heavy damage, and we'll see if it's enough to kill him, and it looks like it is. I Am Broom getting the final pick there. Now fighting off this Lucio, managing to get some, managed to hit a nice headshot on Lucio there, killing him off. I Am Broom now 1v1ing the Freya here, and it looks like the team is able to come help out. It looks like NJIT is going to get the second game. That is now 2-0 for NJIT. If they win this next game, they will move on into the finals. However, Uber out in the semifinals.
Play of the game.
Alright, good plays from both teams that game. Trying to fix the stream here a little bit. I think there might be... I don't think there's anything wrong with the stream, hopefully. Alright, and it looks like for the next map we will be going to Esperanza, something like that. Now waiting on Ubers for the first hero ban. Once again, if NJIT wins this match, it will be over for the Ubers, and NJIT will move on into the finals against the Donglers. For everyone who is just chiming in, make sure to tune in tomorrow as well, because tomorrow we will be hosting the finals for the Silver to Plat. We will find our champion, either Fault or Triple Caked Up, for that tournament. Now just waiting on the Uber's pick for their ban. Alright, and it looks like for the Ubers, they will be banning Genji. Alright, now waiting on NJIT ban. They will not be able to ban any DPS or anyone who has previously been banned, and it looks like they will be banning Kiriko. Alright, now asking if both teams are ready, and we will move on into the next round. Alright, it looks like both teams are ready, so we will be moving into the third and possibly final round of this game.
Initiating match.
Kind of stuck on the on the railing there.
Ready for battle.
Alright, it looks like for NJIT they will be going back to the Winston as well with a Cassidy, a Tracer, a Brig, and an Ana. Or actually, looks like Iron Broom is kind of cycling through some characters here, trying to find a good person to play. As for Ubers, they are going out with Hazard, Tracer, Sojourn, Juno, and Brig. Me personally, I want to see some Brig gameplay. This is a nice skin for Brig too. I like that. That's a good skin. Alright, looks like Remedy gets hacked immediately. It looks like Iron Broom finally made the decision and landed on Sojourn. Now, I'm not much of a... Oh, jeez. Colby Jack manages to get a pick on Lobster, and Iron Broom getting a pick on Brig there. Remedy also getting a pick on Iron Broom, and Usual Flex getting a pick on Artorias. Ubers still does have their tank, so we'll see if they're able to keep this up. But unfortunately, it looks like Remedy is going to not stay up for very long. And it looks like NJIT is going to barely win this first fight. Now, I'm not, as I was saying, I'm not much of a Brig player, but I will say, from what I've heard from other Brig players, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not much of a Brig player myself, but Brig's kind of main goal here is to protect the other support and try to keep anyone from attacking that kind of other support. As we saw just there, the Winston tried to jump on the Ana, and once again we see kind of this I believe it's called whip shot. We see her take her whip shot and that kind of boop that Winston back, so he can't kind of attack this Ana here. As for Efi over here, it seems like they play more of kind of an offensive Brig where they're kind of just, you know, I'm not going to protect the other support, I'm just going to go in and try to do stuff, you know. So we'll see how each strategy works here. Remedy manages to get a pick on Colby Jack there. Artorias going in pretty deep and taking quite a bit of damage. Manages to get nanoed with a heavy anti from Weebu Achu there. Jeez, with an anti like that, Weebu Achu might take MVP from I Am Broom. Iron Broom pops off a nice EMP, and it looks like NJIT is able to take out Ubers. NJIT now does have forward spawn, so this is going to be a hard fight for Ubers. They're going to definitely need to kind of bring this back around. As we've seen before in previous iterations of this tournament, we've seen that forward spawn can be a killer for teams, and it could be kind of the difference between a win or a loss. Remedy taking some heavy damage, but Artorias also takes a hit from that Tracer Pulse there. Artorias pops ult and tries to go for the backline here, while the rest of the team tries to take on this Winston. Iron Brute manages to get a pick on the Lucio there. Artorias now going for this poor little defenseless Juno.
Catch you later. We've got trouble. Shields buckling.
Salutations do not allow.
Approaching the final destination.
Reverb managing to get some heavy damage in there on Remedy. A nice sleep from Weewoo Achu manages to kill the ulting Sojourn. However, Uber has already taken out quite a bit of NJIT, and it looks like they're going to have to give up some of this point here to kind of regroup and get their senses back. It looks to me like Ubers does have the ult advantage here.
Don't let them push any further.
Colby Jack manages to get a pick on Lobster immediately, with I Am Broom getting a pick on Lucio as well, with Usual Flex also getting a pick on Colby. Artorias gets a pick on Usual Flex. Artorias trying to go once again for that poor Juno, as just absolutely getting bullied by Artorias this entire game. Remedy pops ult and is trying to get some picks, but unfortunately his team is dead and he just has to back out. Getting hacked and absolutely just chased down by this Sombra here. 17 health left. We'll see if he's able to stay up, and it looks like he is able to kind of back up into his supports to get some help there. Iron Broom pops in a EMP there, and NJIT is able to absolutely capitalize on it and really just come back with an amazing comeback.
Approaching the final destination.
Iron Broom gets a pick on Usual Flex, but not before Usual Flex is able to get a pick on Artorias. Artorias has definitely been doing a lot for the team so far, so it's going to be interesting to see how they play without him. Reaver pops ult and tries to get some picks here. Weebu Chu getting some heavy picks on Ubers here. Usual Flex is coming back from spawn here. Once again, NJIT is still down Artorias, so we'll have to see how they play without him. It looks like Lucio's going to pop beat there and try to bring his team back. Artorias has returned now and is trying to get some heavy damage out. Once again, gets a nano and just punching this Juno. Artorias must have something against Juno players with the way that he's been playing this game so far. Just absolutely demolishing this Juno every single chance. And it looks like NJIT is going to take the dub. NJIT, congratulations. You will be moving on into the final round. As for Ubers, thank you guys. You guys have made it so far, and I'm very proud with how far you guys have made it. GG's to everyone. It's been a super fun game, and we'll get prepared for next week, where we will see the NJIT, the unbeatable team, versus Donglers, the even more unbeatable team. So we'll have to see how both of these teams kind of respond to each other. Congratulations to both teams. Let's get some MVPs in here and kind of talk to them, see how they thought the game went. As for the Ubers, who do I think I should do for the Ubers? I liked Usual Flex, personally. I think we should go for Usual Flex here. Oh. Well, I don't know where Flex went. Flex just disappeared. Alright, well, I guess we'll just get the MVP from NJIT in here. For MVP for NJIT, man, It is a pick, isn't it? I'm gonna have to go with hmm. 1 second. I'm trying to find the. Where is it? I know it's in here. All right, all right. It looks like we are going to get I Am Broom in here.
Wait.
Hey, I Am Broom. I wanted to
Oh,
say congrats on
hi.
the win. You guys will be
Thank
moving
you.
on into the finals against the Donglers. How do you feel about going into the finals against a team who has yet to lose a single match?
I think, well, the first time we played them, I think it was actually like pretty close. So I think after this game, I feel a lot more confident that we could probably take them in
All
the grand
right.
final.
Awesome. Well, we definitely saw some good plays from you. I made a comment about how it seemed like anytime you got low, you just kind of locked in and immediately took out like three of the enemy team. So we definitely saw some good gameplay from that. I mean, when you were playing Sojourn, there was I think it was a Sombra chasing you, and you managed, or no, it was the Kiriko, and you got down to low,
Yeah.
and you managed to pick off both the Kiriko and the Cassidy. And then later on King's Row, when you were the Freya, and you got super low and took out like three members of their team. So I'm excited to see how that plays against the Donglers and see if they'll let you kind of do more of that goofy stuff. But yeah, congratulations, you got MVP, and yeah, you guys will be moving on to the finals.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah. All right, and everyone, that is it for the semifinals for the Diamond to GM tournament. We will be hosting the finals for the Silver to Plat tournament tomorrow and the finals for the Diamond to GM tournament next week. So definitely stay tuned for that because it is going to be very, very fun.